Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we're back with another Digimon video. So over the weekend, CarneyX made a video giving the Golden Armor Digimon full evolution lines, and that got me inspired to do a version of them for myself. Not necessarily that, but with some other Digimon. Specifically the Mutant Digimon that were introduced in Digimon Linkz. That would give these Digimon a proper, an evolution line. Fictional, of course, but yeah. I think they deserve it. These recolors are very cool looking, so why not? And we'll discuss some other ones that I haven't discussed in the shorts, which I was going to go over anyway in another video, but regardless, we're going to discuss them now. So, without further ado, let's begin. First up, we got our man, the Shine Greymon Mutant. For this, we're going to make him a virus type for the sake of argument. I really like this guy. I've stated before, I love the gold, the black. It works super well with this dude. So, I knew what I wanted, but the figuring out the champions and the rookie were a little bit trickier, but I'll show you what I mean. So, for ultimates, it's gotta be Skull Greymon. Skull Greymon typically is digivolved into, War Greymon, Shine Greymon, specifically from Cyber Sleuth. And I wanted to go with something that would kind of lead into Shine Gray and Ruin mode. So we had to continue the Greymon line. As far as champions, the rookie I understood. The champions I needed to think about a little bit. So for the champions, we either can do Dark Tyrannomon, which because of this arm piece, which I think is a good perk. But if you wanted to go with more of a Greymon line variant, we could go the Greymon for Crosswords. This is the Gray variant to kind of thematically keep in touch with Skull Greymon. You could use the orange one as well. Regardless, you see the thematic. And of course, for the Agumon, we had to go with Agumon 2006 because the black version anyway, it does exist and it fits thematically with this mutant version and the darkness. And of course, Shine Greymon came from the original, came from the 2006 version, so we gotta continue that thing. And of course, this mutant version does become the Ruin mode. The one caveat is that it has blue eyes as opposed to this one doesn't. But we could do a little bit of recolor one, give this one blue eyes again. Other mutant versions, this is definitely one of the higher ones. But yeah, this is one of my this is giving him Skull Greymon is this was kicked it off into my brain. Like, yeah, I want to do this. Moving on, we have the Hercules Kabuterimon. We're going to make him a mutant type for this. He's black, and so the black, and this got me thinking. I'm like, with the recent Tsunorizumon line. And speaking of which, we're going to use him as the rookie. You could use Tentomon, Otamamon. I did have red because he lived in hot areas, but I decided to switch it to Tsunorizumon given how this inspired, and I didn't want to use Otama again, but you could also use Wormmon. Anything of the Nature Spirits family you could essentially use. But I just decided to go with Tsunorizumon. The reason this Tsunorizumon, the blackness is Proganamon is a very black, so black sand. That's what got me thinking. And speaking of sand, we get Sanyamamon. Excellent choice. Still part of the Nature Spirits family. Something can easily digivolve insects. Tsunorizumon has digivolved into Cockroachmon, so digivolving this insect is not out of the question. Same with Otamamons, they digivolved in insects. They digivolved into the Kawagamon line in the Pendulum series. And then from there, we go to Scorpiomon, or Scorpiomon for us English users. I think this fits perfectly nicely. A desert beetle. You can even say the antlion, I think. All the antlines were underground. But yeah, I thought this was a good thematic evolutionary line going forward. Tsunorizumon, the Sanyamamon, and a Scorpiomon. I really like this. This is another one I was like, that triggered my brain. Once I figured it out, I'm like, so Proganamon is how I had to think for this one. Next up, we have the Gayomon mutant. This was a little bit tricky, but then once it hit me, I'm like, oh yeah. So I decided to stick with the X antibody theme of it. Go with that theme, but there was a little bit of mess ups. So for the rookie, thinking for it, I realized that if the Black Agumon X has the regular Galmon, then the regular Agumon X should have the gold version. So that's who we choose as the rookie. And I had the champion, and but I didn't have the ultimate rookie at the time, and this made me kind of think of it, or actually more like Cyber Sleuth. But yeah, Agumon digivolves into Omekamon in, I believe, in Digimon, not Digimon Chronicles. It's the Chinese version, I believe. But he digivolves into Omekamon, and going off of Cyber Sleuth, Yuka's Rise Greymon digivolves into regular Galmon. So why not go the X antibody route and give the gold version the Risemon X antibody? I think it works really good. This thing doesn't have like a mega of its sorts, and this evolution line could work. I think I'd rather have the 2006 Agumon if it got an X version. I think it would work a little bit nicer. But I think that's a good evolutionary line to go with. Relatively gold looking and heroic. I think it works well. Next up is the Tsukuyamon mutant version, and I did this for my Digimon thoughts video. We just have the rookie being Renamon, of course, but then we use the Cubumon Silver and of course the Taomon Silver. Works perfectly well with our Sakumon variation, and of course it'd be Vaccine, as the other two are vaccines as well. Works excellent, and the colors look nicely. I love the Cubumon white. Nice. We could probably just call it Cubumon Silver, give it in the color scheme. But yeah, this was one that I thought of, and I was like, yeah, we would stick with it. There's no problem with that. Next up is the Plesiomon Mutant, and this one I had to think about it for a little bit. I was going to go with the Crabmon to Ebigermon to Gosokomon variant, just keep it like a vaccine kind of thing. The dim cards, but I decided not to do that. I decided to make Plesiomon a little bit more feminine, but also take in that vocal singing because the Sorrow's blue, and incorporate this armor that works really well with it. So we go with Salmon. We would go with the Gondomon, but we wanted to stick with a more traditional rookie. Becomes Tylomon. A little shark, kind of resembles it, and also the blue as well. For the ultimate, I wanted to go with the more songstress feel to incorporate into Sorrow Blue, so I went with Sirenmon and also continue that feminine idea. So you could say that the Plesiomon could be male or female. It's one of those Digimon either way. But I felt maybe a darker blue version would be the more feminine version. So yeah, this was my thought process. I mean, you could use any member of the Deep Saviors. I just wanted to stick with something that, we had the Tylomon, the little shark dude. I also wanted to do the Solomon given the more feminine take, and Sirenmon, of course, being still feminine and also Stinger. Next up is Leviamon, and oh man, I had the greatest idea for Leviamon. So, a little backstory. When I played the original Digimon story, Cyber Sleuth, I thought that canonically speaking, that Shogun Gekomon became Leviamon because the evolution line just fits so perfectly. Now, over time, I have learned there's other evolution lines that are more canonical, and Shogun Gekomon doesn't really go along with it. He doesn't have his Omega. However, I thought we should still continue that, because the entire Gekomon line, Otamamon, Gekomon, and Shogun Gekomon, they're all different colors. And why not go with these since it has this purple and we have the little purple top, why don't we just go full royalty and incorporate that and give it data so Mimi's Rosamon, it's her pet. You could keep it virus, but be a servant of Mimi, it should be a data type. And this is a nice one I was thinking process. I'm like, why not just do it? All the different colors. Of these 7 deadly sin Digimon, the Leviamon recolor is arguably the best one in my opinion. The black and the purple work really nicely with this, and also the blue. But yeah, we got a return order. We got a little bit of blue there. Of course, we got the purple on his head, and it's also symbol of royalty. Sort of orange, maybe this is a reddish orange, whatever you say. But You know what I'm getting at. This works perfectly fine with it. Next up is the headache. One of the headaches. Dianamon Mutant. The obvious choice, and this is one that was chosen for Linkz, we go Lotmon. I decided to do Rabbitmon just to do a little bit different for the Sovereign line, and then go with the Telamon. You could go this route. You could also do Torimon. You could do whatever. I don't like this personally, and the reason being the colors. This is all pinks, and this is gold, blue, and white. I'm like, only the white really works. So I had another idea. Let's bring Gatsumon to this, Icemon and Meteormon, because in Cyber Sleuth games, they can also become Dianamon. It works better color thematically. You can make the argument that Gatsumon changed his sex or gender. He's a femboy or a drag queen, whatever he may be. I just think if you're not gonna continue the Gatsumon lines joke, use something that's already been. And I think Dianamon, you could make this like a femboy Dianamon. I think it would work. Or like Francisco Barzini from The World's Greatest Tucker runs the Greatest Clan, sort of that character, that mafia. I just think the colors work better, and I just don't like the Lotmon for it. And also we have Jogamon, so that's better in place of it. All right, moving on. Beelzemon, the start of the bad seven deadly sins. Okay, mutant version. Red looks stupid on him. I'm not gonna lie. I think this there should be more color to him. It's just too boring. In Digimon Linkz, and as originally intended, it was supposed to be the Meramon line. So just go Candlemon, Meramon, and I decided to do Blue Meramon just to give a little bit of variety to it. Skull Meramon has a bunch of evolutionary lines, or at least a couple. Just do Blue Meramon instead, and it's also virus, which can lead into Beelzemon more. Just a more fiery guy. Yeah, that's what in pure fire. So I didn't put too much thought of it, but I'm like, yeah, let's bring it back. Next up is Barbermon Mutant. This one I had to think over. I don't like Barbermon to begin with, so I'm like, and I wanted to give it a unique evolutionary line. It's something special. So this Barbermon, he's a gambler. He owns a casino. And of course, casinos have money. So we got the Zenimon, and then, of course, it becomes Gainmon. And, I wanted to do this gambling business, this money hoarder. We go with Ketchmemon. Mamimon's diverging from different families is perfectly fine. They're mutants. Metal Mamimon is part of these Zeke Garurumon, so why not for this? So there was a little bit of thought into it, yeah. I decided to make this, instead of hoarding money, he's more of a gambler. I want to make a casino. That's how he makes his money, or to spend it. I thought that was more, we would go a different route than that. He's a more gentlemanly person. Next up is Creepymon. This was also a hard one, but then I learned some stuff. See, a bull Creepymon, sometimes a couple of its attacks involve axes. I'm like, this dude can wield axes, and he just looks super mad and terrifying. I'm like, this guy's gonna go on a rampage. This guy's all strung up. I'm like, and so I got thinking. Our new Chinese Digimon Xingtiangmon. He's got a giant axe. He's a demon. He's a battle-hard warrior. He fits well. There's also the reds. He works. And then, of course, I decided to go with Nanimon, because Nanimon's a strong-willed warrior. He wants to attack. And then we go to Chumon, because Chumon, he wants to become a warrior, so he decides to go a different path instead of the Numimon route, or the Sukaimon route. He wants to blaze his own path and be a warrior, and they are connected. Nanimon is connected to the Sukaimon and even Numimon, to at least the card game a little bit, so why not? We could do that. Lilithmon. This was actually interesting. The obvious answer is Red Devimon, But I wanted to continue that red theme, and also I learned that our girl, she's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm like, I gotta continue. Maybe I should continue that. And there's some ideas, and I also want to stick with the allurement a little bit. Our little Lady Devimon would also have red eyes, and said we would change that to match more with our Lilithmon. I do like the red Lilithmon and the blue hair, the blonde hair and the blue eyes. I think it works nicely. But for that Evolution 9, we go with Harpymon, because we got them blue eyes and potentially blonde hair. And also a lure, because harpies lure men away, or sirens, but hot harpies, even though I don't find this very attractive. But yeah, it lures away, and of course it goes from Hawkmon. And if Harpymon is of light, so connection to Gatomon. And Lilithmon is an Ophiomon that has fallen down, has fallen into darkness. So it only makes sense for this. We're gonna go the other half and do the Hawkmon. We're gonna do a very complete red variation. All right, next up is Belthmon. I don't like this thing. This is one of the colors I did not like, and I had a hard time. I started to go with a black, like a dark Christmas idea, Krampus, whatever, because there's white fur and the red chains. I decided to change the rookie at the last minute just to go with a more sleeping peel. Pillowmon, actually. Pillowmon is, sleeping. Something that could warp Digivolve into Belthmon, mutant. But, it's sometimes when you're sleeping, it gets really cold out. You got to get moving. So it Digivolves into Frigimon. I decided to keep the white thematic, and of course, with a little bit of bear. Pandamon, you could use Polar Bearmon if you want. I just wanted to keep the white and a little bit of the red. Work on with this. I think the red chains are fine. I just the white doesn't work. Maybe if it was a little bit more Christmassy, like this is kind of like white black. I think like mixture of whites and black. I don't know. I just don't dig all red variation. I want a little bit more color to it. And finally, we have Lucemon mutant. Now, Lucemon, we're actually going to change his name, but you're going to see why. We are actually going to keep the Lucemon the same level, the level 7, this Fallen Satan mode. We're actually going to keep that aspect of it, because we got a perfect man for the job. Also, he's going to change the data as well. We're going to go with a Shoutmon, because, we see the gold coloring. So Shoutmon becomes his king version, and then, of course, he becomes Omega Shoutmon, which is gold. Nice, pristine gold. And then we've also included Shoutmon DX. It's just a fusion between the Z-Greymon. He can probably do it without it. He maybe beat one up and incorporate it into his design. Regardless, we stick with that. And then to unleash his true king form, his ultimate form, he goes to the Lucemon variation, all the gold. Right inside this dark belly, maybe is the king version. You could also make him like a dark king. You could do like a black version of Shoutmon, and same with the Shoutmon king version. But yeah, I was thinking, Shoutmon's got all this gold into him, and he wants to be the king of the digital world, and Lucemon is the king of darkness. So let's play off with that. And with that, I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the Digimon Linkz. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. What you guys think. I'll also leave Carney X's video that gave me this idea to work on this as well. Personally, I like the above ones, the Eleviamon, the Shine Greymon, the Gayomon, the Sakuyamon. Those are more my favorites. I had a little bit more fun, and it just spoke to me a little bit more. I also like the Hercules Gabuterimon as well. But with that, I'll see you guys next time. This video is coming out on Thanksgiving, because sometimes we gotta mutate into something different, especially what's going on. You never know. And I just I want to do something different other than Cyber Sleuth, something fun and has a lot of Holly's festive colors, say the least. See you guys next time.